Welcome to the Therapy Show with Lisa Mustard, where continuing education meets convenience. Lisa brings therapists practical conversations with expert guests who share tools, techniques, and insights to enrich your practice. Whether you're on a walk, commuting, or cooking dinner, you can earn continuing education contact hours and stay inspired without sitting through endless recorded trainings. Visit lisamustard.com to join the CE membership and keep your professional growth as seamless as your favorite podcast.
Meet Berries, the AI-powered scribe that writes your therapy notes for you. Secure and private with no recording stored and EMR ready with one click. Join over 8,000 clinicians, saving time and staying present in sessions. And right now, save $50 off your first month with code TherapyShow50. Berries, so you can focus on care, not notes.
Well, hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Therapy Show. I'm your host, Lisa Mustard, and I'm so glad that you're here. If you've been listening for a while, you know that most weeks I'm interviewing incredible guests or sharing continuing education content, but every now and then I like to hit pause and just check in with you and let you know what's going on a little bit behind the scenes. I also know that over the summer, I have been very sporadic with releasing episodes, and every summer this happens. I think I just need to own it and let you guys know in late spring that it's coming. A little bit about what's going on personally and why it's so hectic in the summer is both of my girls are now full-fledged teenagers. The older one just graduated high school, and she is heading to college in just a couple weeks. We are so thrilled for her. She's so excited. She is undecided at this moment as to what she's going to major in, but she can't wait to get out there. And if you're wondering where she's going, she is going to a school in South Carolina, but she is not going to the University of South Carolina. She is going to a school where the mascot is a tiger. Yes, she is going to Clemson, and we are so thrilled for her. My husband went to Clemson. We're just huge Clemson fans in this household. Can't wait for her to start. My other daughter is a rising sophomore, just got her learner's permit, and she just got a job, her first job. I don't think she wants me to share where that job is right now, but she's really excited to be earning some money. So everybody's busy. It's hot here in South Carolina, as you can imagine. We are staying inside, watching a lot of World Cup soccer. Not really into soccer when it's not World Cup, but I got to tell you, I'm really enjoying watching the World Cup. Also, a series that I just watched with my youngest was Elle on Amazon, and I got to tell you, I wasn't expecting to really like it, honestly, because I'm a huge fan of the Legally Blonde movies, and I thought, how is this going to work? But it was so great to see Elle in 1995, because 1995 is the year that I graduated college, and the music and just the cultural events that are brought up in the series just took me back to 31 years ago. Holy cow. And it just took me right back there. I was telling my daughter, I was like, now, in 1995, it wasn't exactly like that. The fashion wasn't that grunge. Like, it wasn't everywhere. There was definitely a little bit more variety. But I think they did a good job of picking up on the things that were happening in the mid-90s. Okay, so anyway, let's get back to behind the scenes and what I've been doing. So a lot of you have been listening for years, and I really appreciate your emails, consultation calls that we've done over the years. You've let me know how much you've enjoyed the podcast, and I'm just so grateful for you all. And I really hope that this episode reaches the listeners that I've really connected with over the years. This is for you guys, what's going on, because I want to be honest, and I want to tell you what I'm doing, and I also kind of want to build a little bit in public, because I think it's important. I talk a lot about shifting gears in this profession, maybe starting a podcast, becoming a continuing education provider, but I also talk a little bit about becoming a coach. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. So grab your cup of coffee or tea, or put your earbuds in and head out for a walk. Even listen while you're driving, but let's just catch up. I'm still working full-time for my job, which is with the military population, and it continues to be extremely meaningful work. And every day brings something different and new. I love, love, love working with this population. I continue to learn every day about resilience and leadership and supporting people through incredibly difficult circumstances. My job is just, it's great. And it's actually picked up a good bit this summer. Usually in the summer, it's a little quiet, but this year it seems to be kind of picking up a good bit, which is great. I'm really enjoying the people that I'm working with. At the same time, I'm still running my consulting business, Mustard Consulting, and producing this podcast. Yes, sporadically, I know. Also, I'm continuing to develop continuing education courses. I'm talking to some people right now about doing one on eating disorders, another one on trauma, OCD, courses that you guys have asked for. So those things will be coming in the future. I'm also just trying to balance everything with family, of course. And also, one of the things that I've taken a little bit more attention on the past 8 or 9 months is taking care of myself. And that means getting my sleep, eating healthy, lowering alcohol intake, getting my zone 2 cardio in a little bit more, not just walking for steps, but like getting my heart rate up, hitting the gym consistently 3 times a week. Because when I know when I do those things to take care of myself, I show up better in other areas of my life. And strength training has been a part of my regular routine for over, how old am I? Almost 25 years, I would say. Something I love. It's taught me so much about consistently showing up and doing the work. And consistently showing up and doing the work gives you the outcomes that you want. And progress doesn't happen overnight. I mean, I know that. I've seen it in my health and in this podcast too. You show up, you do the work, you recover, you repeat. And I think that building a business is completely like that in so many parallels. There aren't many overnight successes. Most of what we build happens at one small step at a time. Also recently, I have found myself looking back on just how much this podcast has grown. When I started the therapy show, I simply wanted to create conversations that would help therapists learn and feel less alone in this profession. And I had no idea that it would lead me to where I am today. I've had the privilege of interviewing so many guests from around the world. We've covered so many mental health topics that I don't know if I could list them all right now. I've laughed, I've learned, and sometimes even cried with some of my guests. Bill O'Hanlon comes to mind. I remember tearing up a good bit on the episode with him. And the podcast has opened doors that I honestly did not expect. It led to me becoming an NBCC-approved continuing education provider, creating the pod courses where you guys can learn, listen anytime, anywhere, and learn on the go in between your sessions, on a walk, wherever you are. It's led to opportunities and partnerships and friendships that I truly treasure. And when I look back, I am extremely grateful. But I have been asking myself some questions that I imagine many of you have also asked yourselves too. What do I want the next chapter of my career to look like? Where can I make the biggest impact? What kind of work gives me energy? What kinds of problems do I feel uniquely equipped to help solve? And I don't think these questions are just unique to therapists, because I know a lot of y'all out there listening aren't therapists. So these questions are probably some things that you've been pondering too, not just for therapists or counselors. But whether you're in private practice or working in an agency, a hospital, university, or another setting, there comes a point where you naturally start evaluating what's next. Not because you're unhappy, but because you're growing. And I've realized that growth doesn't always mean doing more. Sometimes it means getting more focused. So one area I'm continuing to invest in is continuing education. I'm always looking for ways to make high-quality education more accessible for busy mental health professionals. Whether that's creating new pod courses, partnering with organizations to develop training, or finding new ways to deliver CE, that's something I remain incredibly passionate about. So the therapy show will continue. I still love having conversations with experts who are advancing our field, but I also want to create more solo episodes like this one. Episodes where we can talk about building a career, growing a business, navigating burnout, trying new ideas, and the realities of being a therapist. Because sometimes those conversations are just as valuable as the clinical ones. And there's another project I've been quietly building that feels very different from anything I've done before. And I'm a little hesitant to share this, but I just gotta be brave and do it. And some of you may already know this about me, but many probably don't. When I was growing up, my father was investigated, convicted, and ultimately served time in federal prison for a white-collar crime. And it was a very public experience. I was in middle school and high school when everything unfolded. And while so much attention was focused on the legal case itself, our family was trying to survive the emotional impact. The shame, the uncertainty, the isolation, the grief, the confusion. And those experiences shaped me in ways I didn't fully understand until much later in life. Now, as a therapist, I've spent nearly 2 decades helping individuals, couples, and families navigate trauma, loss, anxiety, and major life decisions. And over the last year, I've realized that those two parts of my life, my personal experience and my professional experience, have started to come together. Now I'm creating resources specifically for spouses, partners, and families who are living through a white-collar legal crisis. It's a population that often feels invisible because the person charged has attorneys, the media covers the case, people talk about the crime, but very few people ask how the spouse is doing, or the children, or the parents, or the siblings. They're often carrying enormous emotional burdens while trying to keep their families functioning. And I know what that feels like. I lived through it. And I also know what it means to have someone walk beside you during difficult seasons. And that's the heart behind this new work. It's separate from this podcast and continuing education, but it's something that's become deeply meaningful to me. If there's one thing this season of life has reminded me, it's this. You don't have to fit into one professional box. You can be a therapist. You can be a podcaster. You can be an educator, a business owner, a creator, a coach. You can evolve and you're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to pursue work that's aligned with your values today, even if it looks different from what you imagined 5 or 10 years ago. And maybe that's one of the greatest gifts of experience. We stop trying to build the career we think we're supposed to have and start building the one that actually fits. And that's what I am doing. Before I wrap this up, I just want to say thank you. Whether you've listened to one episode or you've been here since the beginning, I truly appreciate you. There are so many podcasts you could spend your time with, and man, more and more are popping up each day. And it means a lot that you choose to spend some of that time here with me. As always, if there's a topic you'd like me to cover or a guest you'd love to hear from, I'd love to hear your ideas. You can connect with me over on Instagram or send me a message through my contact form on my website. Thanks so much for being a part of this community, and I'm excited for what's next, and I can't wait to continue sharing it with you. Until next time, take good care of yourself. Please note that the Therapy Show with Lisa Mustard is for informational and entertainment purposes only, and not a substitute for professional medical or mental health advice. Always consult with your therapist, doctor, or physician before implementing any suggestions from the show. The Therapy Show with Lisa Mustard is edited and engineered by Chelsea Weaver. If you're looking to start a podcast or ready to take the editing off of your plate, be sure to visit chelseaweaverpodcasting.com. Well, that wraps up another episode of The Therapy Show with Lisa Mustard. I know there are hundreds of thousands of podcasts out there, and I'm thankful you've chosen to listen to mine. Be sure to visit lisamustard.com to access the show notes and discover all the pod courses and other continuing education offerings. And I'd be grateful if you subscribe to the show. Thank you.